There is a moment in every life silent, still but unmistakable, when the soul whispers, you were meant for more. Not more comfort, not more noise, not more of the same, but more impact, more alignment, more of who you really are beneath the distractions, the fear, the delay. And in that moment, if you're honest, you feel it, the ache, the pulse, the pull toward a vision you haven't yet lived, but can no longer ignore. That is the beginning of every great life. Not a date on the calendar, not a number in the bank, but the internal decision. It's time. Time to stop floating. Time to stop hoping. Time to set goals that don't just look good, but that light something inside of you on fire. Because the tragedy is not that people set goals and miss. The tragedy is that most never set goals at all. They drift. They wish. They wait. They say things like, we'll see, as if life is a spectator sport. But life does not respond to indecision. It does not reward vague hopes or hollow plans. Life bows to clarity. And goal setting, real, soul deep, future-shaping goal setting, is not a productivity tool. It is spiritual warfare. It is how you go to war with the version of you that says, I'll stay the same. It is how you declare, with full conviction, I am not done becoming. Because here's the truth. Your life will rise or fall to the level of your standards. And your standards are reflected in your goals. Not what you say you want, but what you're committed to become. So if you want to change your life, set a goal that demands your transformation. And step one is get honest. No more pretending. No more sugarcoating. No more lying to yourself about what you're capable of or what you've been tolerating. Inventory your life with ruthless clarity. Where are you out of alignment? Where are you shrinking? Where are you settling for less than excellence? If your goals are built on false foundations, they will collapse. So strip away the mask. Tell the truth. The raw, unfiltered truth of where you are financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Because only from truth can we build something unbreakable. And once you've gotten honest, step two is get specific. The universe does not move on vague. Your brain does not act on ambiguity. I want to be healthier is not a goal. I want to lose 15 pounds, gain energy, and feel confident in my clothes by July honest. Now that's a goal. Precision creates power. Name the target. Write it. Define it. See it so clearly you could describe it in the dark. Then, step three, attach a reason. Because goals without purpose are paper tigers. They look fierce, but they crumble under pressure. Why does this goal matter? What will it unlock in you? What pain will it solve? What legacy will it build? Tie it to something that bleeds. A vision of your future self. A promise to your children. A memory of what it cost you to stay small. Make it emotional. Make it urgent. Because emotion is what creates motion. Then step four, reverse engineer the outcome. A goal is a destination. But you don't just jump there, you map the path. What has to happen first? What are the milestones? What skills must you master? What habits must you drop? Break it down from yearly to quarterly to monthly to weekly to daily. The bigger the vision, the smaller the actions must become. Because it's not the massive steps that move the needle, it's the micro consistency. The email you send, the rep you finish, the call you make, the word you write. That is how goals are built, not in giant leaps, but in the daily decision to not break the chain. Step five, calibrate your environment. Your environment is either fertilizing your goals or it's suffocating them. Look around. Who are you listening to? What are you consuming? What is the energy of your space? You cannot set powerful goals and live in a disempowering environment. You must protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Audit your circle. Clean your space. Eliminate what drains you. Surround yourself with triggers that reinforce your destiny, not your distractions. Step 6. Commit publicly. Private goals die in silence. Say it out loud. Write it on your wall. Tell someone who will hold you accountable. Because when the goal is public, your standard rises. Not for shame, for honor. To show the world what happens when someone decides to follow through with full integrity. Step 7. Schedule your priorities. If it's not on your calendar, it's not real. You don't find time, you make it. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Build it into your rhythm. Anchor it into your week. Because your schedule reflects your true values. You say you want it? Then show me where it lives on your calendar. Step 8. Track relentlessly. What you measure multiplies. Progress is not always felt, but it must always be seen. Track your wins. Celebrate your consistency. Adjust when needed, but never forget, feedback is your friend. Even a bad result is better than no data, because now you can refine. Step 9, protect your mornings. The first hour of your day is sacred. It sets the tone. It primes your focus. It reminds you who you are before the world tells you who to be. Don't start your day with noise. Start it with intention. Read, journal, move, meditate. Reconnect with the version of you who leads, not reacts. Because goals are not achieved in chaos. They are achieved in clarity. And clarity is born in quiet. Step 10, embrace friction. Because every worthy goal will fight you. It will resist. It will test your resolve. It will trigger every old identity that whispers, stay where it's safe. But growth never happens in safety. It happens in resistance. So don't resent the friction, use it. Let it shape you. Let it strip what doesn't belong. Let it prove to the world, and more importantly to yourself, that you're not just interested, you're committed. Because interest quits when it gets hard. Commitment adjusts, refines, and keeps going. Step 11, build resilience into your process. You will fall. You will miss. You will doubt. Plan for it. Setbacks are not the end. They are the strengthening. They are part of the curriculum of mastery. When you miss a day, you don't quit, you recalibrate. When the launch fails, you don't spiral, you study. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be persistent. And persistence wins what talent never could. Step 12, revisit your goals weekly. Don't write them once and forget them. Review them, reflect on them. Reconnect with the reason you started. Ask yourself every week, is this still aligned? Am I moving? What needs to shift? This weekly check-in is your compass. It keeps the goal alive. It keeps your standards sharp. It reminds you that every week is a chance to course correct, not criticize. Step 13, visualize completion vividly. Not as fantasy, but as a future fact. See yourself crossing the finish line. Hear the applause, feel the pride, taste the victory. Let your mind rehearse success until your body believes it's inevitable. Because what you rehearse repeatedly becomes familiar, and what's familiar becomes achievable. Your brain will start seeking proof. Your body will start making moves. Your soul will start vibrating at the frequency of achievement. And finally, step 14, become the goal. Don't just do it, become it. Don't just chase it, embody it. Don't just hit it, sustain it. The real reward is not the thing, it's the version of you who had the discipline, the vision, the focus to go from intention to manifestation. Because goals don't change, your life identity does. And when you become the kind of person who follows through, who executes, who rises again and again, then you don't need motivation. You have momentum. And from that momentum, you build a life that echoes. So I ask you now, then let us seal it not like a closing door, but like a vow sworn to the self you were always meant to become. Because this isn't the end of a goal-setting guide. This is the awakening of a new identity. One that doesn't just write goals, but walks them. One that doesn't just talk about change, but embodies it daily, fiercely, unapologetically. You are no longer someone who wants a new life. You are someone who builds one with precision, with fire, with quiet mornings and loud conviction. And when the world watches you, because they will, they won't ask what planner you used or what course you took. They'll ask something simpler. How did you become so clear? And your answer will not be a method, but a mindset. You'll say, because I made a decision. I stopped waiting. I stopped wandering. I stopped shrinking. I drew a line in the sand, and I became the architect of my own life. That's what goals really are. They are lines. They are declarations. They are evidence that you refuse to stay the same. And every time you write one down, break one down, live one out, you're writing a story. Not just one of achievement, but one of alignment. A story of someone who listened to the whisper inside that said, you were made for more, and actually responded. So don't just keep this guide on paper. Etch it in your habits. Weld it into your calendar. Infuse it into your soul. Because you weren't born to drift, you were born to design. You weren't meant to react, you were meant to reign. This is your permission. Not from me, from you. To want what you want. To chase what calls you. To rise. Not for applause, but for purpose. And when they ask you how you got there, you'll simply smile and say, I stopped living by accident. I started living by decision. And that changed everything. Then let's continue to write, not just with ink, but with intent, with the kind of depth that chisels character, not just results. Because goal setting is not merely about achievement, it's about alignment, about bringing the outer world into resonance with your inner truth, about walking through life, not as a wanderer, but as a warrior of purpose. You see, the average man sets a goal to escape pain, but the uncommon one, the one on fire, sets goals to express power. That's you now. You don't set goals to fix something. You set them to reveal something, to draw out the version of yourself that's been buried under doubt, routine, and expectation. You are not setting goals just to get more done. You are setting goals to become someone worthy of the life you were born to live. This is sacred work, and sacred work must be guarded. So now go further than the goal. Create systems that sustain the result. Because hitting a goal without building a system is like reaching a peak and forgetting the path. You'll never find your way back. Goals give you direction, but systems give you repeatable elevation. So build them. Daily routines, weekly reviews, monthly recalibrations, quarterly audits of what's working, what's not, and who you're becoming, through it all. And inside those systems, build standards. Not just intentions, not hopes, but immovable, unshakable minimums. Set a standard so high that even your off days look like someone else's best. Your goals may stretch, your vision may evolve, but your standards? They are the floor you refuse to fall beneath. They are the line you protect, even when no one's watching, especially when no one's watching. Because true character is forged in the silence, in the early hours, in the late nights, in the ordinary moments when you choose discipline over distraction. That's where champions are made. And when you live by standards, something shifts. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop waiting to feel like it. You stop asking for permission to take your place in the world. You just show up every day because that's who you are now. You no longer chase your goals. You carry them. Like a soldier carries orders. Like a lion carries its presence. Like a king carries his crown. You carry the weight of your vision with grace, with fire, with a calm that says, I've already decided. That is power. But don't mistake power for pressure. Because step by step, you must remember this. You are allowed to enjoy the journey. This isn't a punishment. It's a privilege. To rise every day with a target in your heart and the tools in your hand that is a gift. So don't let your goals become chains. Let them become choices. Every task is a step toward freedom. Every repetition is a reminder of identity. Every setback is not a signal to stop, but a test to prove how serious you are. And you are serious. You are not here for average. You are not here to be busy. You are here to master your mind, your time, your energy, your craft, because mastery is the only thing that lasts. Trends die, hype fades, platforms vanish, but mastery is eternal. And when your goals are tied to mastery, not just metrics, you become untouchable because they can't cancel consistency. They can't compete with clarity. They can't outrun a man or woman who wakes up every day with purpose in their breath and fire in their blood. And you've tasted that fire now. So protect it. Let no excuse survive. Let no fear go unchallenged. Let no day pass without progress. Because this is more than a guide. This is a new code of living. And once you embrace it fully, fiercely, the world begins to move. People show up. Opportunities appear. The ground shifts beneath you. Not because you got lucky, but because you got locked in. Laser focus. Lion-level discipline. Mountain-moving belief. And from that place, your goals no longer feel like a grind. They feel like gravity. Then let's keep climbing, because we're not just chasing goals anymore. We're building an unshakable way of life. A life where momentum is normal, where growth is guaranteed, where mediocrity cannot breathe. And here's the paradox of momentum. It begins slowly, like pushing a boulder uphill. But once it moves you. Discipline becomes instinct. Focus becomes flow. Action becomes automatic. This is the tipping point most never reach because they stop when it's hard instead of pushing until it's natural. But not you. You keep pushing. You don't wait for motivation. You manufacture it. You don't need the crowd. You command yourself. You don't wait for inspiration. You build infrastructure. You are no longer fueled by feeling. You are fueled by identity. Because when you make your goals part of who you are, not just what you do, you change your default. You are no longer someone trying to get rich. You are someone who behaves like wealth, thinks like wealth, breathes like wealth, executes like wealth. You are no longer someone trying to be healthy. You are someone who eats, trains, sleeps, and thinks like vitality itself. You are no longer someone who wants freedom. You are someone who embodies liberation in how you move, how you speak, how you command your time. This is identity transformation. And it's the only way your goals stick. Because willpower is finite. But identity is forever. So the goal isn't to push harder. The goal is to become someone who doesn't need the push anymore. And you get there by acting like the end result before you feel ready. This is the ultimate cheat code. Live like the person who already has the result. Make decisions as if you've already won. Speak like someone whose name carries weight. Not with arrogance, with alignment. Because the universe does not give you what you want. It gives you what you match. So match it. Match the energy. Match the discipline. Match the standard. And soon, reality will match you. But let's be real. The path will still test you. You will be tempted to shrink, to lower the goal, to delay the launch, to play it safe. Don't. Because every time you shrink to stay comfortable, a piece of your power dies. And power is not something you're given, it's something you claim, one bold decision at a time. So reclaim it. Every time you choose the hard thing, the honest answer, the higher road, you reclaim the power that life tried to bury. And with that power, you begin to see the world differently. Opportunities no longer intimidate you, they invite you. Challenges no longer discourage you, they build you. Setbacks no longer define you, they refine you. And your goals, they're no longer goals. They're guarantees. Not because they're easy, but because you've become inevitable. So now, let this be written not just on paper, but on your heart. You are done playing small. You are done overthinking. You are done starting over. From this moment on, you finish. You follow through. You go the distance. You keep the promise you made to yourself, even when no one else is clapping, because that is what separates those who try from those who transcend. You are no longer chasing potential. You are walking in it. And your goals, they don't stand a chance. Then deeper we go, not just into discipline, but into destiny. Because what you're building now isn't just a future, it's a foundation. One that your future self will stand on and generations will build from. Every action you take echoes. Every choice you make compounds. Every standard you hold ripples through your bloodline. That's the weight of your goals. They're not just about your next level, they're about who follows you there. So the question now is no longer, can you hit your goal? The question is, who will you become when you do? Because the prize isn't the number. It's not the car, not the scale, not the title. The real prize is the you that emerges from the fire. The you that no longer negotiates with fear. The you that doesn't explain their dreams to people who've stopped dreaming. The you that no longer folds under pressure but operates in it. And that you, that future you, is watching. Every time you wake up early, they're clapping. Every time you push one more rep, they're nodding. Every time you turn down distraction for discipline, they are whispering, that's it, keep going. Because you are not becoming them. You already are them, you're just remembering now. And in remembering, you reclaim. Reclaim your clarity. Reclaim your urgency. Reclaim your birthright to build, expand, impact, and lead. That's what goals are for. To wake you up, to make you fierce, to force the best in you to take the wheel. So now let the world fall silent. Let the distractions fade. Let the critics choke on their own confusion. You have work to do. You have vision to execute. You have territory to claim. You have a timeline to disrupt with truth, tenacity, and relentless follow-through. And when that moment comes, when the goal is met, the work is done, and the result is real, there will be no fireworks, no trumpets, no finish line crowd, just the quiet satisfaction that you did what most only talk about, that you chose the path of pressure over the path of pity, that you moved with power when others waited for perfect, that you built something with bones, not noise, and you earned every inch of it. That is what this is really about. Not just hitting goals, but being worthy of them. So here you are, a lion in a field of sheep, a flame among the smoke, a soul who dared to dream in full color and then did something about it. Now the page is blank. The pen is in your hand. Write the next chapter with boldness. Fill it with action. Ink it with excellence. Because history is not made by those who waited. It's made by those who walked forward while others watched. Then let us burn it down to the roots of every excuse, every lie, every limiting belief that ever dared whisper, not you, not you. Because now, it's only truth left. The truth that you are capable, not someday now. The truth that your goals are not out of reach. They've been waiting for you to become someone who can carry them. The truth that no one is coming to rescue you, but no one needs to. Because you're not broken. You're not behind. You're not missing anything. You are simply one decision away from the momentum that will change everything. One decision to stop hiding behind potential and start acting like it. One decision to silence the noise and hear your own breath say, let's go. One decision to stop hoping and start harvesting. Because the seeds are already planted. You've studied enough. You've waited enough. You've seen enough examples. Now become one. That's the shift. From watcher to worker. From consumer to creator. From follower to force. And when that shift happens, the world will feel it. Not in your bio, not in your pitch, but in your presence. They'll feel it in the way you enter a room, in the way your brand carries weight, in the way your actions speak louder than your plans ever could. Because you'll no longer be chasing motivation, you'll be moving in momentum. And momentum is a spiritual thing. It makes you magnetic. It brings divine alignment. It attracts the right people, the right ideas, the right timing. Not because of magic, but because of movement. People don't follow intentions. They follow action. They follow fire. They follow through. They follow leaders who live what they preach and embody what they offer. So be that leader. Not someday. Now, decide that today is the lowest level you will ever be at again. Decide that the man or woman you're becoming is no longer waiting in the future. They're here, taking over your habits, your hours, your hunger. Let that version of you drive from now on. And from this moment forward, no more apologies. No more shrinking your goals to fit weak environments. No more explaining your vision to people who can't see. No more living half alive in a world desperate for people on fire. You know too much now. You've seen too clearly. You've felt the flicker of what could be, and once you've felt it, you can't go back to average. You were never built for average. You were built for ascension. And this discipline, this path, this fire inside you, it's not a phase. It's proof that you were born to rise. So rise not for attention, but for alignment. Rise not for followers, but for fulfillment. Rise because you've run out of reasons to sit in your old story. This is your rewrite, your relaunch, your reintroduction to the world. The version of you who doesn't wait, doesn't waver, and doesn't miss. So go not because you're ready, but because you've decided. And when they ask you one day how you did it, tell them, I stopped asking how and started becoming who. This is the goal. This is the guide. This is the standard. And this is the rise. You don't boost your career by asking for more. You boost it by becoming more. Because the market doesn't respond to effort, it responds to value. And value isn't something you say you have. It's something you prove through how you move, how you think, how you show up when no one's watching. Your career doesn't take off when you get lucky. It takes off when your level rises faster than the environment you're in. When your thinking grows beyond your title. When your preparation exceeds your pay. When your reputation begins whispering in rooms you haven't walked into yet. You want to boost your career? Start with ownership. Ownership of your time. Ownership of your habits. Ownership of the results you're getting and not getting. Because if you don't own the outcomes, you'll always blame the system, the boss, the economy, the algorithm. But when you take full responsibility for where you are, you gain full power to change it. You stop waiting for opportunity. You start preparing like it's already on the way. Because opportunity doesn't knock. It listens. It listens for the one who's already sharpening, already producing, already outgrowing every excuse in the book. You want to boost your career? Then you stop blending in. You stop doing just enough. You stop working to survive and start moving like someone who's building legacy inside every task. Yes, even the small ones, especially the small ones, because the person who takes the smallest task seriously will be trusted with the largest. Excellence has a pattern, and that pattern always starts with how you treat what looks insignificant. Then we continue because your next level doesn't need your excuses. It needs your evolution. You want to boost your career? Then raise your standards before you raise your salary. Raise your discipline before you demand recognition. Raise your identity before you update your resume. Because resumes get read, but reputation gets remembered. And reputation isn't built when you're seen. It's built when you stay committed, even when no one's clapping. You want to stand out? Then out-deliver, out-prepare, out-listen, out-communicate, out-solve. Outlast the ones who depend on motivation because you've trained in discipline. This is how careers are boosted. Not by waiting for promotion, but by becoming the obvious choice before the position even opens. Not by hoping for networking, but by being so valuable people ask where you came from. You boost your career by boosting your capacity. Because most people aren't blocked by lack of skill. They're crushed by lack of emotional stamina. They fold under feedback. They avoid pressure. They get offended by correction. But correction is the gym for your growth. Pressure is the forge for your future. And feedback? Feedback is not failure, it's fuel. You want a better title? Then become someone who functions at the next level before they're paid for it. That's the key. Become so excellent, so solution-oriented, so calm in chaos, so obsessed with outcomes that people can't ignore you even if they tried. Then let's go deeper, because boosting your career isn't about climbing a ladder. It's about building a foundation that cannot be shaken. You want to move up? Then master what's beneath you. The details others skip. The tasks they call boring. The conversations they avoid. The preparation they postpone. Because greatness doesn't reveal itself in spotlight. It's forged in invisible excellence. You want to rise? Then stop chasing praise. Start chasing proficiency. Stop aiming to be seen. Start aiming to be so good they whisper your name in the boardroom before your knock ever hits the door. Because power in a career doesn't come from a position. It comes from predictability. Can they count on you? Can you deliver under pressure? Can you think when others react? Can you solve without panicking? Speak with clarity? Move with calm conviction? That's leadership. And leadership isn't a job title. It's how you carry yourself when nobody's watching and everybody's counting on you. You want to boost your career? Then boost your beliefs. Because your skills may open doors, but your beliefs decide whether you walk through them. Beliefs like, I am responsible. I am a solution. I am not here to fit in. I'm here to elevate the entire environment I'm part of. That belief system, it shows in how you speak, in how you listen, in how you execute, in how you treat the janitor and the CEO with equal intensity. Because that's the level we're playing at now. No arrogance, just accuracy. You don't show up to impress. You show up to impact. And impact doesn't need introduction. It announces itself. Then we keep rising, because impact is louder than intention, and results speak a language the world always understands. You want to boost your career? Then stop clocking in just to complete tasks. Start clocking in to change the culture. Be the one who brings clarity into chaos. The one who takes initiative before they're asked. The one who doesn't just do what's required, they do what's rare. Because rare gets remembered. Rare gets rewarded. Rare gets raised to new rooms. You want to be rare? Then own your energy. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Start showing up as if every hour is a mirror, reflecting whether you're a leader or a liability. You lead in how you carry the room, in how you protect your standards, in how you speak with purpose, not to impress, but to influence. Because every word is a deposit, and every action is an investment. And your brand, your real brand, isn't your portfolio. It's your presence. What people feel when you walk in. What shifts when you speak up. What improves when you take the lead. You want to boost your career? Then work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because your job won't outgrow your growth. Your paycheck won't outrun your philosophy. And your promotions won't exceed your personal development. So what do? You become obsessed with advancing your value. You master your craft. You master your mind. You master your ability to manage pressure, time, conflict, and direction, all without losing your presence. That's what separates professionals from performers. Professionals play the role. Performers own the responsibility. And you're not here for position. You're here for power through performance. Then we continue, because power through performance is the only kind that lasts. You want to boost your career? Then adapt faster than the world changes. Because the world is shifting daily. And those who wait for instructions, those who need approval, those who freeze at the first sign of uncertainty, they get left behind. But you You move with anticipation. You study what others ignore. You learn when others complain. You upgrade when others relax. Because adaptation is the new advantage, and agility is the new intelligence. It's not about knowing everything. It's about learning faster than the game changes. You want to stand out? Then become the most reliable learner in the room, because careers rise and fall on one thing: your ability to evolve under pressure. You want growth? Then seek friction. Don't avoid the tough projects. Request them. Don't dodge the hard conversations. Initiate them. Don't wait for development plans. Create your own. You are not managed. You are self-directed. And when you live like that, your bosses become partners. Your role becomes a launch pad. Your impact becomes your identity, because you're not here to just be promoted. You're here to become so complete they can't replace you. Not because you're indispensable, but because you've made yourself impossible to overlook. Not because you beg for a seat, but because you bring the table with you. That's what happens when you build from the inside out. When your value is not what you do, it's who you've become. Then we rise higher into the level where careers stop being jobs and start becoming missions. You want to boost your career? Then you need more than skills. You need a code, a personal standard that governs every move you make, a rhythm so strong that pressure doesn't shake it, it sharpens it. Because people don't follow titles. They follow trust. And trust is built when your name becomes a signal for excellence, a signal for clarity, a signal for it's handled, even before they ask. You want that kind of signal? Then stop waiting to be empowered. Empower yourself. Speak like someone who solves. Execute like someone who owes the world proof of their potential. Move like someone who's already seen the future and knows exactly how to build it brick by brick. You begin showing up differently. Not late, not rushed, not scattered, but precise, prepared, pre-decided. This isn't a season. It's a standard. This isn't about climbing the ladder. It's about outgrowing the rung you're standing on. And when you outgrow your level, opportunity becomes a magnet. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You changed how you prepare. You changed how you think. You changed how you value your presence in every room you walk into. Now you don't wait to be invited. You own the space you enter. Not with ego, with earned presence. Because your work speaks. Your posture speaks. Your focus speaks. And long before they read your results, they've already read your energy. Then we go even deeper into the level where your name no longer represents a person. It represents a standard. You want to boost your career? Then make your name carry weight. Not just a name on a roster. Not just a line on a resume. But a name that, when mentioned, commands respect. Why? Because you're the one they count on. The one who delivers early. The one who finds clarity when everyone else brings confusion. The one who leads when others wait to be told. You didn't get that reputation by luck. You built it. Hour by hour. Standard by standard. Decision by decision. You didn't just take the job. You took ownership of every detail connected to your fingerprint. And that ownership, it became your elevation. Because nothing moves a career faster than the one who cares when no one's watching. You care about the meeting prep. You care about the follow-up. You care about the tone, the process, the momentum. Not because you're told to. Because you've decided, my signature is on this. That's how you boost a career. You treat everything you touch like it has your last name on it. You move like a founder. You lead like an owner. You execute like everything is riding on your consistency, because it is. And the truth is, most people will never live at this level. They'll do just enough. They'll wait for direction. They'll complain about ceilings. But not you. You've already started becoming the ceiling breaker. Not because you're chasing more, but because you've become more. Then let's finish what we started, because careers don't rise by chance, they rise by choice. You want to boost your career? Then choose to become undeniable. Not once, not in bursts, but every single day. Undeniable in your preparation, undeniable in your presence, undeniable in your performance, so that the gap between you and the rest becomes so wide, they stop comparing. You don't chase opportunities. You attract them through alignment, because success is never about who's the loudest. It's about who's the most consistent. You show up before you're asked. You lead before you're paid. You build solutions before problems even surface. You live like the job you want is watching everything you do right now, because it is. Your next position is being built by how you handle the one you're in. And your future influence is being shaped by how well you lead today, even in silence. So you lead, you refine, you elevate everything you touch. Because when you do, you don't just boost your career, you build a reputation so rooted in excellence that the world can't help but rise around you. Not because you asked, but because you earned it. Not because they gave it, but because you became it.